Oh, you didn't
Hello,
actually
NPCs.
go.
How are we doing? Oh no, you thought I went.
I thought we were already live.
No. We
All
weren't.
right.
I was fucking with you.
Cool.
Hello,
Hi,
everybody.
Nice to see you again. Sorry we fucked up Bryce fucked up the title.
What
the
happened
first
is
time.
I put the title was originally no breaks, no boobs, just butt buttercup. Twitch, that was not a part of their moderation policy. Saying the word
You
butt.
can't say the word butt.
You cannot say the word butt.
But boobs.
So I had to
You
fix
can say
it very
boobs.
quickly. You know, we're all
We
about
appreciate your patience and understanding.
Especially after last stream, we are all about being very good friends to Twitch's moderation policy. We understand that ass is the devil.
We've never broken one Twitch policy ever, not one time.
We've never once messed up. Well, we've never broken.
You're right. I'm glad that we're still partnered after we got partnered and then stopped streaming for 3 months.
Although when you get partnered, it does specifically say it's like you have to keep doing this.
Oops.
But we're back. We're back. Dancing on that tightrope.
Guys, tell me if somebody in the chat knows, which I'm assuming you do, what is this outfit from? Is it, I can't remember what it's called. But it's you know, there's like the cat. Darkstalkers. Yeah.
Felicia.
There you go. Cool. Thanks, guys. Gonna write that down so I don't forget.
Should we start off by showing the new Lucia merch that we have, or should we wait?
Sure, go for it.
Okay, here, let me switch to my full cam screen. Hello, everybody. So we have, showing a new thing, we have a button. The glare from the lights kind of getting, there we go. We have a nice little Lucia button. It's pretty rad.
Just like a politician.
And then this is a very big Lucia sticker. They won't all be this big, but this one, for reference, is very big. But
forearm for comparison.
It'll be here soon. There you go.
And we have more stuff coming too. These are just we're ordering test samples so we can make sure that the stuff we're getting doesn't suck. But so far the quality's been good on all of it. I showed the last couple streams my phone case. You don't have to switch to my full thing.
Okay,
but,
well, I did.
Okay, well, doesn't matter. The little phone case with Lucia on it. But we'll have all kinds of stuff.
Hopefully shouldn't be too
it'll
long.
Be fun. Yeah. I mean, technically the store is up if you could find it. But we won't tell you where yet.
Figurines sometime maybe. We have actually looked quite a bit into getting figurines done. That's a lot of work.
The problem is they're very expensive.
They're very expensive. It can be a bit unreliable. To get like, you know, it done consistently at like the certain standards we want. So, you know, it's just, but that is something we're very interested in. If a company ever approached us. But
Yeah, I mean, we'd do it if you are a company watching this and you want to do a figurine.
really, if you're a company watching this and you want to do anything, if you're gonna give us money,
We'll really do anything for money.
except for NFTs. But we'll do anything as long as you give us money.
I was thinking about mixing this up and doing black instead of the white, because I think the normal outfit's white. Who did you guys hit up regarding figurines? A bunch of people. We spent a lot of time trying to figure it out, and
money.
it was just a lot. We got one made, and it wasn't good. So
yeah.
It didn't happen yet, but maybe one day.
I'm sure it will happen at some point, but that's not in our immediate plans because of the logistics behind it.
Yeah.
Also, thank you for the sub, Serious Dish.
Thank you, Serious Dish. I have Sirius XM in my car. It came with it. I know that's not.
Oh yeah, it's my birthday today.
About. Oh yeah, it's your birthday today.
Yeah, I didn't want to put that in the title
going?
because I didn't want people, I didn't want this stream to be all about me. But it is my birthday today. Also, Yora!
Yora's here? Yo! The crab himself. How's it going? How we doing? We crabbing?
That makes me think, what would you guys do if you had someone approach you wanting to have Lucy in a video game or something? What are your rules or limits? We've had a lot of people approach us about wanting Lucy in a video game, actually. Yeah. But I assume you mean like if a studio or something approached us. I mean, really, it'd be two things. If I'm being fully blunt, it would be making sure they keep her as the character and money. If I'm being honest. If it just depends on what it would be used in, what money we'd be getting from it versus what money they'd be making off of it. Yada, yada, yada. But if it were like a small little thing, just like an indie studio, it would mostly be about if we like what they're making.
Yeah.
So if it was like somebody...
That's really the biggest thing, is if we think it's really cool, then we'll probably be game for it.
Yeah, we don't want to. We want to. It's why when people ask us, like, "Yo, can I put Lucy in my fighting game?" We've been asked that question a lot. Our answer is always like, "You have to show us gameplay. We have to see the game, play the game, deal with it before we ever agree to anything like that." Also, thank you to everyone saying happy birthday. I appreciate it very much.
I've not told him happy birthday yet.
That is true. You'll tell me in about a month.
Yep. When you least expect it. Whenever you give up and say, maybe he won't tell me this year. That's when I tell you.
I could make Lucy a soap. That is true. Amy is getting very into making soap. Would you guys want Lucy a soap? Gamer girl soap?
What about Lucy a bathwater?
Yeah, Lucy a bathwater.
We'll just dip that button into the bathtub. Put Lucy on everything. Lucia toasters. Lucia.
What smell though?
Lucia.
I don't know.
What?
I don't know what the smell of the soap would be. Something that smells like Lucia.
Smell. Thanks, B. This is our first Thursday stream back.
That is true. We're here late. We had a very productive end of our workday.
Yeah. But would you like to explain what we did for the last hour and a half?
I helped Scott homebrew his 3DS. That's how we ended the last hour and a half of our workday. Was me sitting here explaining to him how to homebrew a 3DS.
Yep.
It
not a great process. It wasn't fun, actually. But I got it. I can play Tetris on the 3DS now. Handheld.
It's all for Tetris.
It's all for Tetris and Pokemon.
Yeah, I did. It's bro. That's easy. It's Scott.
Yeah, he's got a point.
I have this. This thing costs like $500 these days. The SNES 3DS, or it did at one point. It might have gone back down. But there was a while where the SNES 3DS was expensive. I got it actually when it was new still.
Wow. Fucking brag about it.
I will. I'll brag about having money. Huh? Kidding.
Bryce has just lost touch, guys. He's not the same. I miss the old Bryce.
I fell off. Once I improve my art, I'm actually thinking about turning that big fighting game project into a real thing, and I'm still thinking about including Lucy if you guys are okay with it. I just need to garner a team, but I hope you guys are willing. Of course, Scrub. It just depends on if we see the game. We've been over this. I'm kidding, Scrub. We love you. How old is Lucy to be exact? An eldritch being.
At least 800. Is that in human years or dragon years? Bryce's speed reading is garbage. Yo, show off, Bryce. Speed read something.
Yo, Forklift Boy got a new account though. You're back on the shroom train. Damn.
Oh yeah, I guess his Twitch was. Lucia's real age is 18, by the way. Just so we don't go too long without clarifying that.
Do you ever get tired of getting the same questions over and over? I wouldn't say tired. I just say you get more efficient at answering them.
You either get more efficient or more creative.
And I would also say sometimes it's a benefit because sometimes it gives. There are many ways to answer one question, especially when it comes to creative stuff. I feel like. So there's like sometimes like somebody will ask me for advice and like I'll say a whole thing and then I'll wish I had said like this extra thing or this extra thing, and so next time I get asked I say the different thing.
Or like sometimes a lot of the questions are just really general stuff like how do you grow on Twitter, and it's like, well, I could talk for 10 hours about how to grow on Twitter, so I don't do that every time. So the next time somebody asks, I just reach into the well and pick out another bit. So
after about the 20th time, that's when it'll bother.
Yeah. In the meantime, just keep asking, or eventually too. A lot of the more simple questions like how old is Lucia and stuff. A lot of the times the audience will answer that for us.
That is a really nice thing. There are many times where a question gets answered and somebody answers it before Scott and I even can in Discord.
Which it warms my heart that people have memorized information about us, especially your birthday, Bryce. They were really on point with that.
Yeah, no, everyone was really. After you finish this, do you want to show off that fan art that Susie did?
Oh yeah, we officially got the first ever instance of somebody drawing one of us IRL. And let me pull it up real quick. And it wasn't me, actually. I'm not offended by that. I'm not offended by that at all. That it was Bryce that happened to. If I can pull it up. Oh, hold on. All right. It's a birthday drawing for the birthday boy.
From Susie, the goat.
From Susie,
even got my hat,
goat.
And of course I'm not wearing that hat today.
Wow. I would have thought you would wear it specifically. They're coming out of the cake.
I didn't even think about it.
Got the crab. Got Mia. I don't know who this character is here on the right.
Never heard of her. It is funny to include everyone but Suan.
Even the people that like the Obscurosies don't like Suan.
They don't know her. That's how obscure she is. She's gone to the depths of time.
All right, but yeah, that was cool. That was the first time. Again, cool. I'm not offended that it wasn't me. I don't mind at all. I don't mind. It bothers me a lot, but I'm kidding.
Feline said, to add to my last one, actually, what would be your limits for it specifically? I'm guessing NSFW is allowed, but aside from that, what things would you give a hard no to? Do you mean questions? Like what questions would we give a hard no to?
I think he's talking about the game.
Oh. Clarify.
I don't know. That's hard to answer. I mean, it really does just always boil down to if we think it's cool, then we'd be interested. If we're not that interested in it or excited about it, then we wouldn't. No, you can't adopt Suan, but Ingo did adopt Misha.
Did anyone get what my do you guys Suan think? Reference?
Should these things be black or orange? What do you think, Bryce?
I think the black on the boobs looks better, but I think the black gets muddy on the groin.
But that looks weird when you.
That does look weird as well. What I'm saying is it's an uncurable problem.
All right, we fixed it. No line art, no nothing. There is no Lucia.
And then hold on, Feeling clarified and said, like, can my OC fuck Lucia in it? So I assume that does mean the game. I don't know. I don't know if we'd let someone. Do you think we'd ever let someone do an NSFW game with Lucia in it? It really depends on how much control we have. Because I really, when it comes to NSFW stuff, I want to be very careful about people doing things that we don't have control over.
I think also, it just like I said, I mean, the biggest factor is just if we are excited about it, or if we think it's like a cool idea or concept, you know. Like if we I mean, like if someone does a little indie game or something that, you know what I mean, doesn't make a bunch of money off of it, then like we're not gonna fucking DMCA people, you know what I mean? But like we can't go around just being like, yeah, you can use our character.
Yeah, we can't say yes
like,
to every single person that asks us to use her in a game.
Yeah, like we get asked that all the time, so like we just can't say that. So it's hard to, you know, clarify, I guess, our position on.
Especially, you also get a lot of people that are like, hey, I have an idea for a game that I'm gonna make in 4 years. Can I put Lucy in it? Get that a lot. You get that. I'm not even joking. Get that. We get that so much. It's like, hey, so in like 4 years, I'm gonna make this game that's like a fighting game. Can I put Lucy in it as like the main character? Not that, like, I'm not saying like people can't ask stuff like that. I'm just saying, isn't like it's we're never gonna say yes to something we don't know anything about.
Yep, too hard to answer. So I mean, as for, I don't think there's really anything that's like a hard limit, you know, that we would just immediately say no to. It's just like I said, if we're excited about it, like if somebody comes to us and is like, look, I've made this game before. I'm pretty good at making games. I'd like to, and it's like a serious thing, you know, then like we might be inclined to really take a look at it.
Scrub, that was not a call out at you. It wasn't a call out anyway. It's happened a lot. Like it's not.
No, yeah, it's not. This isn't to anybody specific.
This has
like
literally
said,
happened 10 to 20 times. Multiple times on stream, multiple times in DMs. People, I don't know.
I can't even keep track of the times that's happened. And it's like, it's nothing against anybody. It's just, you know, if we said yes to everything, like it just gets too potentially muddy when you're like just giving people blanket permission to use your character for things. So it gets too,
especially when like we've had people that literally say like, hey, I want to make a Lucia game, like not like a different game, like they want to make a game specifically with Lucia as like the character. And it's like, especially when it comes to that kind of stuff, it's just we need to. Last question, but have you guys thought about making a game, like a visual novel or RPG maker thing, or if you're bold, even hiring a programmer to make it from scratch?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it. It's just a time thing, like with so much, you know, it's just the time versus reward kind of. It's not our main goal or what we really aspire to, so it's not like we're willing to really sacrifice a lot time-wise to do it. It's like it's the kind of thing that like if an opportunity presented itself in the future, would probably be interested, but it would just be really hard to imagine hardcore pursuing that, you know.
Yeah, what I'll say is there have been we've worked on things, but we've never had the time to actually work on things. So it's not something I don't know if we'll ever really be able to get done unless a lot of like I said, we're not willing to sacrifice things. Scrub says check DM. Scrub, my phone is on 8%. I hope this 8% can get me to my Discord DMs.
There are a lot of things, just to add on to that thought, there are a lot of things that we would really love to do. It's just time is the main factor for really all of it. If we had unlimited time, we would be pumping out like
I love you,
all kinds of shit, like comments and or comics and games and animations and all this stuff. But when it all boils down to time, you have to really pick and choose what it's worth to do and what you want to do.
This is Feline said something that I actually think is an interesting thing. It said some RPG Maker games make real good cash on Patreon. I feel like you're in the position to get a lot of traction fast. Don't correct me if I'm wrong. You're not wrong, but Scott and I are in a position where we don't necessarily need any more money than we're making. So we only dedicate time to like we do what we do, and we don't really pursue anything just for monetary gain right now. And like the projects we work on, like comics and stuff, we would always value over something like making a game or something, just because it would always be a side project.
What if I did this?
So are these guys the owners of the Discord server? No, that's Ingo.
Oh, this looks stupid. I'm gonna change it.
I'm kidding. Yes, it's us.
This is loot. I just realized.
Yeah, I tried telling you before stream. I said, hey, this might be risky.
After last stream, where nothing happened out of the ordinary.
You all don't know this, but Ingo actually controls us. We all work. We're really just all of our money is funneled into Ingo. TOS is no joke. What's wrong with this? This is TOS. You don't see a nipple.
Stream. It's fine.
Have you guys seen what the hot tub streamers get away with? We're okay.
It's true. This is no worse than most bikinis.
That one girl showed her butthole and she only got like 3 days banned. I think we're okay.
I don't know if they would be as lenient with us.
We would just tell them we had thick with the Q on. They'd be like, "Oh, I get it. I understand how that could happen." Nah, I think we're good.
Do you think we can get Pusha T on stream?
Bryce pulls off his hat and a tiny Ingo is pulling his hair.
It's German Ratatouille.
German Ratatouille, Jesus Christ.
What do you think is the dumbest thing that we could get away with on Twitch? Do you think we could get away with reacting to every Harry Potter movie?
Is if you don't put if you don't put things in the title, I don't think Twitch cares as much. Like, remember when all the React streamers were getting hit? It was only when they put like watching Naruto in the title. The problem is for a while they were doing it backwards, like they were spelling the word Naruto backwards, and that was working for them. But then I think they caught on.
Oh man, how did they crack the code?
Watching D's what, B? Watching D's what? D's what, B? What?
What?
Dude, I gotta say this. Sar fucking got Shroom. So he's been doing this Gargalon thing for like a week. Every time somebody says something, he's like, blah blah's from Gargalon, and fucking Shroom was Gargalon what? And fucking got him. I was there for it. It was like the greatest moment. That was my birthday gift.
There were people in the Discord earlier that were upset that I was making you stream on your birthday. I
Really?
streamed on my birthday.
Is that true?
Earlier this year. Yeah.
I worked today of my own accord. I literally worked today. I did not take the day off. It was just a normal work day for me. I want to be here.
See, guys, Bryce is here. I'm not forcing him.
Echo said, "How come I don't have a sword, Bryce?" Oh, Echo, are you not mod here? I thought you were. Oh, you know what, Echo? No, because you weren't a mod before. Like before all this started. Like when we streamed last, you were not a moderator in the server.
Did you ever give moderate her?
No, because every time I brought it up, they've said don't do it. Moderate, if you want it, I'll give it to you. But every time somebody says it, you go, no, I'll be the worst mod ever. Don't do it.
What's the worst that could happen?
They could close our entire chat.
But really, though, I mean, come on. It's Madre. Ooh, now purple's a color. Hold on.
Let me figure out how to give people roles.
Oh, I like that a lot. Guys, how are we feeling about purple? Orange is fine, but how are we feeling about purple?
Echo, I see you've had your account since 2015. Who were you watching in 2015? What streamer were you big on in 2015?
Okay, the purple seems to be winning.
There you go.
Halloween vibes, yeah. I looked over at the second monitor for a second, and I was like, "Oh, did Bryce accidentally pull up like a Patreon post?" But it was just my drawing that I was looking at on your screen.
Why did B say I'm on it, scrub? What did we miss? Did something happen?
I don't know. I don't know. Echo says orange, but that purple's kind of tight.
This has just become the mod chat all of a sudden.
That's so many swords. The
mods, they were trying to time Echo out.
Oh. The mods mod is Ingo.
Okay, here I'll give Madre mod power. Since I've been told to do it. Hey all, we're just handing out mods here if anybody wants to be mod.
You get mod, and you get mod.
That's not true. These are people that are mods on our server. There you go. Hopefully I modded the right person. That is mod.
How long do you think it would take to go no lost start? Yeah.
Yeah.
How long do you think it would take to go horribly wrong if we just gave everybody who wanted it mod?
Not very long.
Bryce, you know, you're a car guy.
Yeah, love them. Big into them.
I know you're a big car guy. What would you say would be your dream car?
What? You know in Scarface when she's like in that thing and he's like, what? It's a Cadillac. And it's the leopard print Cadillac. That's my dream car.
Yeah.
So I can just say it's a Cadillac.
But like for real though, if you had to,
I don't know. Amy has some wild ass car as her favorite car. I don't remember what it is. It's like something totally off the fucking wall.
Amy randomly is super interested in cars. She keeps being like, we should watch Top Gear. And I watched an episode of it, and it was just some old dudes talking about cars for an hour.
Mini Cooper.
It really.
Yeah. My Amy loves Mini Coopers. That's like her dream
I don't even
car.
know what that is. Let me Google it so I can roast her real quick.
You want to pull it up on stream, or do you want me to?
Oh, this isn't bad actually.
Yeah, it's not. That's my Amy's dream car.
A little lame as a dream car, but
we have small dreams. We're from Maryland.
Not bad.
We're not taught just to dream big here.
A little lame. Like you're not gonna go zooming down the interstate with that. Give me my black Cadillac any day.
Yeah, see the Cadillac. We agreed.
It's a Cadillac.
It's a Cadillac.
Cadillacs are awesome. The problem is that it's super handy having an SUV, and I don't know that I could sell my SUV to get a non-SUV. I think I would just have to have two cars, which is expensive, and I'm not ready to do that yet. What music is playing right now?
Some lo-fi shit. I don't fucking know.
You don't even know the artist's name? Wow.
Ukulele music. That is true. There is a ukulele.
I'm trying to work on the way that I draw.
Did everyone listen to that fucking beat B posted in the music discussions channel?
I don't think I did.
If you didn't, everyone should go listen. That shit went fucking hard. It was very good. It was very funky and very weird. I messaged them the moment I listened to it because I liked it so much.
Beast the goat.
So
Yeah, I'm trying to work on the way that I shade elbows because CSR told me. Well, he didn't say it, but I asked him to critique a drawing, and like half of his notes were about shading on elbows. So I'm trying to work on that.
you did message me, and you were like, "I asked CSR for a critique, and he's been typing for 25 minutes."
Yeah, I mean it was a lot, and it was mostly about the elbows. That was my big takeaway from this: is that I need to study elbows more. But
Okay,
this
Echo,
isn't the
shut the
elbow
fuck up. Hold on, Echo. You and I have to talk about this. I listened to your beat the moment you sent it because Scott, or actually maybe not the moment you sent it, but I listened to it the first time I had a chance to hear it because Scott and I were talking, and he said, "Oh, that can I show you this beat Echo sent me?" I didn't know you had sent it to me as well because I listened to it when Scott played it for me.
Vinegar.
No, I just want Echo to understand that I like him. Damn it. Does CSR give anyone crits? Probably not.
Probably not anyone, no. I just him and I talk sometimes. We're cash.
No,
We're
it's
on
not
a
angry
first name
Bryce.
basis. I just call them robots.
Wouldn't a first name basic being cute, sexy, or just cute, not robots? Wouldn't it be a last
Suck my
name
wiener,
basis
nerd.
technically? Where do you find useful resources for shading?
Just a lot of black and white photography. Honestly, like you can study a lot of. I kept trying to remember. It's been a long time since I've done this, so I'm probably not good with the terms. But there's like a style or like a painting exercise where you just use like 4 or 5 tones and you try and make a painting, and so you have to make decisions about shapes. And if you can find artists that are really good, their studies doing stuff like that, it's really good. It doesn't matter if you're doing like cartoony cell shaded stuff like this or if you're doing more painterly stuff like Echo does. It's super helpful, although Echo would probably have a better answer for that than I would because he's better at color. I think Bryce left, so it's just us now, guys.
What do you mean?
Oh,
I'm right here.
no, okay, never mind. He just spaced out.
Yeah, I was like over here making all kinds of faces and shit. I like broke for a minute. Yo, Curry's here. What's up, the goat? Echo just said, "Yeah, I'd have a better answer."
All right. See, I was right. Echo's the person you should ask about that. Echo's going to be on Tuesday. So he can give us his better answer on Tuesday. If anybody can remember to remind us.
Tuesday gonna be lit. That is true. We're gonna have the goat on.
But I'm right here.
Shut up. You whack ass.
Shut up. Are they still making GTA 6?
Yeah, that's why they stopped making all the remakes they were making.
I thought they stopped making those because they weren't well received.
Well, yeah, but their excuse was they needed to work more on GTA 6.
Hasn't that undergone like a bunch of rewrites? And...
Yeah, I think it's been through like 4 like total redos so far, something like that, from what leaks say.
I think the technical term for that is development hell.
Also, I think it's Dan Houser is the one that left, and he's the one that actually wrote all the Grand Theft Auto games and all like the Red Dead games. Like he wrote all the stories for them and everything. So we'll see if the stories will be butt now. 2 more questions. You may have answered this, but I forgot. Have you thought of doing the occasional art tutorial? Scott, have you?
I've thought about it, but if I were going to do it, it would have to be some really long-winded like YouTube video because I'm not good, as you've all probably realized from the streams, I'm not good at being eloquent and like concise and saying what I need to say in very short amounts of time. Like I couldn't do that thing where I have like oh look, here's a 10-minute YouTube video on how to draw legs. Like it's super not my style. So it would have to be like one of those 40-minute videos where I just ramble for a long time, but you might be able to walk away with something from it. So I've thought about it, but it's just a time commitment thing, you know. I've thought about doing the how I do like my shading and picking my colors and stuff, but I figure I do all of that live on stream anyways, so there wasn't really a super big point.
And then also, Scott, what's the best tips you could give me for drawing the lower body, particularly the pelvis and attaching the legs to it, and the legs themselves?
I think about swimsuits when I do it. So like, I try and think of like, you know, if here's the torso in my really laggy Photoshop that I'm drawing in, I try and think about like the swimsuit shape. Like if somebody has one of those high-waisted swimsuits, like here's the center of the torso, here's like the rib cage, here's the hips. I try and think of this shape here, and I think of these as, because you draw like the hourglass, right? And you just cut it off with the swimsuit. I think of these leftovers as part of the legs, because they kind of are. They're kind of not, but because really the leg starts like here, and so it's really like this. Like if you drew it 3D, the swimsuit shape, it would be like if this were the front, it would really be like, oh, it would really be like this. And so I try and think about it like that, and then like I said, the legs just sort of come out of it. The other thing I try and do is focus on gesture. So like if I'm drawing a lot of poses, I'll try and draw small because it's a lot easier to work on. And I'll do like sort of noodly limbs like this. And this helps me, I find, with gesture. Because then what you can do is you can just lower the opacity and draw over it and be like, okay, here's the thigh, here's the knee, here's the bottom of the leg, here's the foot, and you can sort of zoom out. But you start with like a really gestury form. And I guess that's general for the whole body. That's not just for the lower part, but yeah. And also when I'm doing it, I try, since I have a more exaggerated style, I try and be really like wavy and not have too many lines, because the more stylized your stuff is, you want to have less, generally speaking, like towards like cartoons and anime, you want to have less lines and just focus on curves and straights. Like, see, this is a curve and then a straight, and then because it's the front of the leg, and then the back side of the leg is a straight and then a curve. And it's super exaggerated. Like legs don't really look like that, but it's, the idea is based on the real anatomy of legs.
Just do that.
Did that help? Just do that. I don't know if that helped anybody, but
Also, buy scrub.
that's what I'm talking about. I can't do like a short tutorial because I just ramble for a long time, and then I'm like, did anybody understand that?
Everyone was
Did that make
talking about how
sense?
blank my stare was. If I'm supposed to sit here fucking like waving my arms back and forth all excited. He was sitting there talking about like important shit. What do you want me to do? Make faces in the fucking camera?
He thinks of the body like a swimsuit.
You just look so bored by his explanation. He's sitting here talking about swimsuits and legs and how to draw them. I'm not an artist. I'm not sitting here like
In fairness, that's just how Bryce looks.
That is true. I'm very spacey. That's one thing they're really gonna learn from having the face cam is how much I space out. This happens all the time.
It happens during work.
There will be times where Scott and I'll be talking, and he'll be talking for like 5 straight minutes, and I'll be like, you have to repeat everything you just said, because I honestly just spaced out and missed all of it.
And I've long since accepted that that's just Bryce. It can't be fixed.
It
It's
can't, I was gonna
terminal.
say it can't be fixed. I don't even know if it's a character flaw. It's just me.
Oh, it's definitely a character
I
flaw.
don't know if I'd
Let's-
say it's a flaw
let-
if it helps me sometimes.
Does it really
I
help
feel
you?
like sometimes it gets me out of listening to you speak.
Oh, well,
It gets me shorter, more. Let's blame it on you. You ramble so much when you talk that I space out because you give me shorter, more like bursty explanations afterwards.
that's fair.
Scrub won't leave until you say goodbye to him. I said goodbye and you didn't, and Scrub's upset.
Oh,
He's
sorry.
gonna be late for work.
I'm not checking the chat. I just let Bryce do it. Bye, Scrub.
Literally, he doesn't care about you guys. Wow, he actually doesn't. Exposed.
Sorry, I'm trying to assign you some value here.
Wow, I can't. On my birthday too. I'll finally be valuable.
That's my gift to you. When's the last time I got you a birthday gift?
I don't know.
Was it your chair? From like 2 years
No,
ago?
no. The laptop I think came after that.
Really?
I don't know. One of it was one of the two. I know that.
I did say bye, Scrub.
He did. In fairness.
Bye.
But yeah, Scott and I don't buy each other gifts. We
Anymore.
this is gonna be this. People are gonna think so low of us after this. We work so much that our gifts to each other are we spend a night playing video games together. I'm not even joking. That is what we give each other for a gift. We go, hey, this random night we're gonna stay up all night and play video games, and that's what we do.
It's trying to recapture our youth.
It's trying to recapture when we played Xenoverse for 15 hours straight when it came out.
I think it was more than 15.
It probably was. And it was like 3 p.m. in the afternoon after staying up all night and we were ordering pizza. Never forget it. That's senior year. So you played the show for 12 hours straight? Scott and I actually don't really play MLB The Show that much anymore. It's kind of trash now.
Yeah.
I think I put like 30 hours into this year's game.
I probably put a little more than that just because it's me, but...
Which compared to the fact that we both used to put almost 1,000 hours into the show every year. Yeah, no, we not so good now, so we don't play it so much anymore. We've been playing NBA 2K22 recently.
Which also is not that good.
It's also not
just
that
for
good,
the record.
no. Well, because it was
But it's
good
new.
4 years ago, Shroom. That's the difference. Like it's actively gotten worse. They butchered the game.
This is the way.
Do you have some advice to draw with focus and avoid procrastination? I always say one of my biggest tips is the timer. Just turn everything off, get everything away from yourself, start a timer, however long you think you can do, if 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, do whatever, put it on, and you can't do anything else. You just sit there and you draw or you write or you do whatever for that 20, 30 minutes, and you don't like stop the timer for anything, you don't do anything. You sit there and do it. And if you do that for enough, eventually you'll get yourself sort of back on track with it. I still do it. So like sometimes I'll have days where I'm a little unfocused, and so I'll start doing it.
Yep, same.
That's my biggest recommendation.
Hide my screen for just a second.
You're good.
All right, you're good. Yeah, I actually had a hard time finding posts to draw and stream today because apparently all the posts I've been working on are much more lewd than normal.
Like this one?
Like this one, yeah. So it was a challenge. I did what I could, guys. Sorry if Twitch bans us.
Are you done up to November yet, or?
Not November. This post is going up at the end of September, though.
So for all you September fans,
stay around for September, and I'll post this, and we can talk about it together. It'll be done by then. It's crazy. I know that not a lot of artists. I didn't expect a lot of artists to backlog like I do, but I thought more would than they do. Like CSR doesn't. I know that. Well, I think really the only one that I've met that does is Thick with a Q, who was on yesterday. He talked about how he backlogs posts, but it seems most artists just fly by the seat of their pants. So if you want my advice on how to be a little more productive, it's backlog your posts.
CSR doesn't backlog? Question mark.
No.
Damn.
I really thought he did, but he told me he didn't.
Think with a Q backlogging makes sense considering he posts like every fucking day.
Yeah.
Wait,
CSR
think with
doesn't
the
post
Q
quite
is a
that
he.
much, but post them. Yeah.
Yeah, that was something we learned too. He was very confused. He was like, I don't know why everyone thinks I'm a girl. I've never said it. I don't know where this came from. He was he was like, it's going to be funny. Everyone's going to think I'm a girl. Super nice dude, by the way.
Yeah, that was a great stream.
It was a great stream. It was fun before stream. He's a really nice guy. Oh shit, didn't know you streamed. Goose Boost says with a verified account.
Yo, verified account. I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
I don't know. I assume that means they're bigger on Twitch than we are.
Oh, I see.
Actually, wait, I think does that mean they're partnered? Like us? By the way, welcome. That was the worst introduction anyone's ever had to our stream. I was trying to figure out.
So glad to have you. We're not great yet. We don't watch Twitch that much. Although Bryce does. You have no excuse.
Verified means they are an OG. Ingo, I don't trust any fucking thing you said. Yeah, dude, I talk about your art on stream from time to time. That's fucking sick.
Really? Wow. I need to look you up. But I've been clicking on your profile now for a few minutes, and I can't figure out how to actually get to your account. That's why I've just been looking over at my monitor. I'll look into that a little bit later. It'll be fine.
Great
Thanks
content.
for coming by. Thanks for talking about my art. I appreciate it.
Happy birthday, Bryce. Did you like Susie's gift? I did. We showed it on stream earlier. At the start of stream, we showed it. It was very cool. That's the first fan art of one of us IRL that we've ever gotten. And it was of me. And
I'm not upset about it. I'm not.
Scott, click the name and click the name a second time. Somebody's telling you. Are you this stupid that you didn't do that? Oh my fucking god, Scott. Jesus Christ. Do you see why I had to help him hack his 3DS? He can't function.
Oh, there we go. No, my 3DS isn't hacked. It's totally legit. Oh. Cool.
I hate you. I really do.
23,000 Twitch followers? Good for you, guy. I'll have to check out your streams when we're done here. You're like a real Twitch streamer.
Bro can't even hack a 3DS. Cringe, unsubbed.
Yeah, but play me in Tetris.
Let's go. Do you want to talk about how the 3DS you bought just had a bunch of pictures of random people on it?
Yeah, I was just it was weird. I was just setting the 3DS up, and randomly on my desktop, I swear to God, I don't remember dragging this folder out onto my desktop, but there was just a DIMC folder or something is what it was called, and I opened it up, and it was just a bunch of random save files, and then just a bunch of pictures of this family, their kids and their dog. This old lady, it was super weird. I bought it off eBay, so it was secondhand. I guess they didn't wipe it all the way, but yeah, that was strange.
It was pretty funny listening to Scott be very confused by this.
I thought it was going to be the start of a creepypasta, and it was I was getting a cursed 3DS.
Like that letter I got.
Oh yeah, you want to talk about your letter?
I don't know if I want to talk about it on stream. Things are weird. Maybe a different time.
Oh come on, you can't tease it. You can't tease it and then not deliver.
I don't know if y'all remember from back in the OG day, back when we were streaming before, but we were talking about people were leaving cookies outside of our door. They still do. They've always been very nice, but they left us a note today, along with the cookies, that said, "To friendship, my apologies for this experience. Friendship is a lot prettier, I promise. Truly yours." And then I can't read the name they wrote. I don't know this person. I don't know who they are. I don't know. I've never interacted with them. They just leave cookies outside my door like every day.
You're gonna die, dude.
They left a donut outside of my door today.
Have you ever eaten anything that they've left?
Amy has. I have eaten I took a bite of one cookie, and I said, "But what if poison?" And then I threw it away.
That sounds so unlike you.
So
there's 100% LSD in the cookies or
something.
something.
Wholesome. It almost certainly is 100% wholesome, but I just wish they'd knock on my door or something. Say hello to me. Interact with me.
It is strange that they're so persistent but won't interact with you directly. And then tell them about the one that they left where they were like,
oh yeah,
like to your wife or girlfriend or whoever.
They left a bouquet of fake flowers and said, "Give this to your wife / girlfriend / mother / whoever lives with you."
That means that even though Bryce has never seen them and doesn't know who they are, they've seen Bryce and they know about him.
They know I have a woman living with me. Again, maybe they're very, very nice. I don't know. I've just never interacted with them. I always want to leave a note out and be like, "Hey, you can knock on my door. Say hello to me, neighbor."
You should put up like a hidden camera somewhere just to try and catch them. Although your apartment's one of those that doesn't allow the Ring doorbells, so.
Yep.
Well, if you move here, you can have one.
That is true. Yeah, Scott spent so long trying to convince me to move to Kentucky, and I was like, you know what, I'll do it. Oh yeah, I think we're gonna move to Kentucky next year. And then like yesterday, fucking stick with the Q's on, and fortunately he's like, "Bro, let me tell you, Kentucky is shit. Fucking horrible state. Everything sucks about it. And like literally everything's bad. There's no reason anyone should want to come here, man."
No, there is. It's cheap.
That is true. That is true.
That's the big selling point.
It is a lot.
It has to be because it's just a fucking awful place. Just a fucking terrible state. Our basketball team's good, but I don't give a shit about basketball. So
college basketball team.
Yeah, right. College basketball team. We don't even have a pro basketball team.
Another one. What are some of the biggest signs that one is improving, both for art and writing? I would say improvement is all self-assigned, I guess. So it's all like if you're looking at your work and you feel it's better than the work you've done in the past, then you're improving. I don't think anyone else can tell you that you're improving. I'm not gonna say I don't think anyone else can, but I think to prove it to yourself, you have to like be the one to look at it.
I think looking at your old artwork is some people are really averse to it and they won't look at their old stuff. If I'm struggling, I will just purposely go back and look at old drawings, and because I'm always like, oh wow, I have gotten a lot better, and it makes me feel better about myself just because I've improved, and so that tells me that I will improve even more. So looking back at your old artwork is a really good way to see your progress, see how much you've grown. And maybe motivate yourself a little bit. But like I said, some artists get stuck in this weird fear of not like just being afraid to look at their old artwork. And you just gotta get over that a little bit, I think, because it can be a really important tool. Because I talked about this a little last stream too, but sometimes, you look at your old work and you say, oh, I used to do this differently. I used to have a different technique. And I actually liked my old technique for this specific thing more. Even if you've gotten better, you might say, oh yeah, my old way I used to draw hands was better, or feet, or whatever. And so, you can learn, you can keep improving and keep yourself from getting worse in some areas just by always looking at your old stuff. I mean, not always. I would say about once a month I go through and really binge a lot of my old work. And anytime I'm struggling, I do it.
Yeah, I mean, I also think I think a lot of people are afraid of looking at their old stuff because they're afraid of seeing how bad it was. But to me, the worse you think your old stuff is, the better you've gotten. in the meantime. So
Yep.
I don't get why it's a thing people are afraid of doing. Because if you look at something, even if it's from a month ago and it's like way worse than you are now, that's a really good thing. That means you're getting a lot better. And even if it's a small thing, if like you look at it and it's not like you look at something from like a year ago and you're like, I haven't improved as much as I want to, that means you are at a stage where you need to start taking active steps to improve. Like I realized that a year or two ago, or not, sorry, at the start of this year, I looked at some stuff I had written a few months prior, and I felt like I had improved, but not very much. I think I felt like it was a pretty small improvement compared to what I wanted, and so I had to. That was a sign that I had to actually stop, and do certain things to improve. Like I was like, okay, well, what parts do I need to improve at? And I actually had to sit down and study. And so if you feel like you're not improving enough, just through like naturally writing and drawing, then it's probably a sign that you need to like take time and specifically work on certain things. You have to take time to work on getting better rather than just like sort of drawing and getting better through doing that. But that's all, like I said, it's all about what you see when you look back at your old work.
Yeah, because it's especially important because once you start, like when you're just starting out, you really improve quickly just by doing it. Just by drawing on your own, like racking up that mileage gets you a lot better. And eventually when you reach like an intermediate kind of level, that stops. Like Bryce said, like it turns more into a thing of you have to really try and get better. It doesn't happen so much just on its own in the background anymore. But that's a little down the road. That's when you start getting into the intermediate category. This is a good question. Who asked that?
Feline.
Feline with the questions.
You've probably asked this before, but do you think DBZ's art style rubbed off on you? Silent Sonic 666 says.
Oh, definitely. I had a period in the Panty Bear where it was really obviously inspired. Actually, I had I don't have that artwork on hand, but we had one comic that was super inspired that I think we've showed a couple of designs from before. Is that in Drive, Bryce?
What? Oh, the princess and the cousin stuff?
Yeah.
It should be somewhere. I would go
All right,
digging for it, but I think I can switch to the pause screen and dig for it real quick if you want.
No, I'm on Drive. I can dig for it.
Just search one of the characters' names, like search Daphne's name, and you'll probably find it.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Lucia sticker. I don't know. I couldn't think of anything to fill there.
Our Drive is still so unorganized.
No, it's organized for current projects. It is not organized for old projects. Also, there's a button for people that missed the button earlier. They'll be available soon, probably. Hopefully.
Where would it be in the Drive?
Oh my god, I'll look. You get back to drawing. You're not good at this. This is stop. Go back to drawing.
Where the fuck is it?
Pick your pen up. We're gonna go on the pause screen real quick, everybody.
Is it in the Twitch folder?
No, shut up. It's not. Why would it be in the fucking Twitch folder?
Because it's not in the comics folder.
I will find it.
Unbelievable.
Shut up. I hate you.
Anyways, guys, the point is, yes, we had some work in the past that it was more directly influenced by DBZ. It's not quite directly anymore, but it's definitely the influence is still there.
I have, okay, well, I was going to say I've already found it, but I found the folder and the designs folder, and it's not there, so you never put the designs in Drive. So it's not even actually.
Oh.
So I did know where to look. You just didn't put the designs in Drive. Do you want to pull them up while I have us on the pause screen?
No, because I'd have to unplug stuff and get my external drive out. We showed it before.
I can show. I know one specific page of I know the era of the Panty Bear that's really Toriyama inspired.
Yeah, I do too. I'll pull that up. Just get us off the pause screen.
Okay, we're off the pause screen.
Yeah, I'll pull that. Yeah.
They fight a lot. It's weird if they don't fight. Mom and Dad, please stop fighting. Nah, we fucking blah blah.
Actually, I have another project that I never even. I guess I'm allowed to show this.
What project are
But
you
no.
showing? I don't care.
Well,
You can show somewhere. I don't give a shit. Oh, is it?
no, it's not a project with you.
Oh, you work on other things other than with me.
You fool. Not with you.
I thought you were talking about the one thing.
No, I don't even know what you're talking about.
The thing that we're doing it gave us depression earlier this week, but now we're back.
Oh, no.
I thought that's why you
No.
were saying you didn't know if you could show it.
No. That wasn't why. That wasn't why at all. No.
B is saying, what's that stance on that word? And I have no idea what she's talking about. I don't know if it's allowed. The word coochie? Is that what you're talking about? That's the only word I can think. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, Coochie's fine. This is the era of the panty bear that was super inspired by Toriyama and Dragon Ball. A lot of stuff going on around here that's very. Also, I don't know. It was a weird section. I was drawing Lucia's face very weird in this section. Actually, is more earlier. Specifically like around this thing. I don't know.
The one I
was
always
doing
think of is the panel where it's the shot of her butt and all the dudes that she's like beating into the ground. Do you remember at the gas station? That's the one that always really stands. Yeah, this one.
This is very these characters are actually from Toriyama comics. Like it was supposed to be like a little thing. A little Easter egg, a little goof 'em up. But obviously my style is different now. That was a short phase that I drew a lot of the panty bear in, and a whole other project.
From how far back do you keep your project? Does there come a point where you trash them? You keep everything, Scott. You have everything you've drawn since like 2014, right?
Yeah, I have over here next to me. You can't see it, but I have all of the sketchbooks that I filled up. I have dozens of sketchbooks over here, literally like 30 or 40. Just ones that I filled up front to back since like 2015. So I try and keep everything I can.
Scott and Bryce, should I be writing comics early with a small account to go into a big account, or do I do it vice versa? I don't know if I would like just do if you just want to grow your account. I don't know if comics would be the best way to do that. I mean, I'm not an artist, but based off what I've seen.
Yeah, no, if you're just trying to grow your account, I would just be trying to make single illustrations. If what you want to do like for a career or like seriously is comics, then yeah, you should be doing comics. But if you just want to grow your account, they're not. It's possible, but they're not super effective. You can just do normal illustrations, and they can be narrative driven. Like they can be OC stuff, and like give away a bit. I know I don't do a ton of like backstory and stuff in the Lucia posts, but you could. A lot of people like that, like somebody like NDA does not NDA Nort. Somebody like Nort does like comics all the time. They're just like little short stuff. It's like not a full-fledged comic, but it they draw a lot of little ones, and they add up over time, and so people really like their characters.
Also, if you do comics, like if you're doing it just for growth, I'm saying you want to look into what kind of comics do very well on Twitter. If that's what you're doing, look at like Nort's comics do very well. Thick with a Q has a lot of dialogue in their stuff as well, and it does very well. So if that's like what you're dead set on wanting to do, specifically to grow, then you'd want to look into the accounts that do those kind of things and how they grow, or like what there's if they rely on being funny, if they rely on being serious, how much they show, blah blah.
Is there a specific platform that you get the best reception from when you make your content? Twitter. Twitter is probably the best place to post your art.
For real?
Reddit can be good for fan art if you have something, because the problem with Reddit is you have to have something that can go into a popular and hot subreddit that a lot of people use. Also, thank you for the gifted sub, 3B.
The goat.
That's just B, isn't it?
It is just B. I don't know why I said.
Thank you, B.
Kind of cringe.
I did. I'll just let you do all the reads from now on.
Okay. I normally do. I don't know why you thought you'd step on my toes. I was waiting.
I
till you were
tried
done
to mix
speaking,
it up,
but you
but...
just kept fucking talking. We were talking about how you're always talking. Why doesn't
Yeah,
she have the little cat thingies on the upside, the one where her face is upside down?
I don't know, and also they're not on the left side of her face here. What is wrong with me? Why did none of you point this out? You've been staring at this drawing for over an hour.
I've been staring at chat, to be fair.
Yeah, they've been looking at this drawing.
While you fix that, somebody said I have Carl Weezer writes a lo-fi EP stuck in my head. That sounds like a banger. Susie said, do you find doing traditional art helpful even if you mostly work with digital?
Oh, definitely. I have I'm out of the habit currently, and I need to get back into it. But I used to, for many years, every single day I would fill up a page in the sketchbook as my warm-ups before work. And I found that to be super, super helpful. Just because, and I've never showed anybody my sketchbooks. Like my girlfriend's not seen them, Bryce hasn't seen them. And it's not because there's anything bad in there. It's just that it was super, when I draw something digitally, it's too tempting to show people. It's too tempting to be like, okay, I should get like a good sketch out of this so that I can show people and post it and do whatever. When I'm in my sketchbook, nobody can see anything I draw in my sketchbook. And so it lets me be really free to experiment with like different styles and stuff like that, that maybe I wouldn't feel comfortable doing for like a post or something that people might see. So having like a traditional sketchbook that I can still draw in and feel like no matter what, nobody's going to see what I'm drawing here, really lets me experiment. And experimentation is super important for your art style and just for your own artistic journey. Like that's the way you teach yourself and how you learn on your own. People ask me like about being self-taught. A lot of it's just experimentation, trying new things, trying different techniques or ideas just to see what works and what doesn't. And you only really find that out by trying it yourself. And so having a place where you definitely aren't going to show anybody is super helpful. Like there are times where I might draw something in my sketchbook and be like, this is really good. I'm going to use this idea later, but it's not the same drawing. I don't send people pictures from the sketchbook, or like I would never do the thing where I sell sketchbooks or show them around just because it's too important to me that people can't see it. It's just my sketchbook.
I know you also, don't you do a lot of your designs in sketchbooks?
Yeah, and that it's the same idea. Is like if I'm designing a character, I'll get in the sketchbook and I'll just start putting down ideas. And I feel really free to try new stuff and to try things that maybe won't be super great. And it's okay because it's just in the sketchbook. Because design is another thing that you really need to experiment a lot when you're designing a character. And so, yeah, I do a lot of my designs in the sketchbook too.
Also, Shroom said, can you fix the thing I complained about earlier? I don't know what that means.
What did you complain about earlier?
Fuck, I'm sorry.
Wow, right on stream. Right in everybody's ears. Wow.
It's fine.
I told him right before stream, I said, don't do that on stream. And here we are.
The bottom left Lucia and the top Lucia groin triangle thing.
What about it?
Oh, they're different. One's round, the top one's square. You made them different shapes, like her, the patch.
It's just a little Easter egg, guys. It's just a little neat thing. You know, you maybe you can notice it. It's just a little.
Yo, Silent Sonic, thank you.
Thank you. Also, hide my screen for a minute. I'm done with this drawing for now.
You're good.
Hog Champ. All right, you can switch back now.
Oh, fitting. I wore the perfect hat. Can you believe that?
Pokemon.
For real?
Gotta catch him. Oh.
Yo, Silent Sonic, thank you for another gifted sub.
Goated.
To Ingo
thank you.
too.
Ingo is really hurting for subs. So.
My mom just called me probably to wish me happy birthday, and I had to bitch button her. Can you believe that?
Bitch button.
Have you never heard that before?
No, I've not.
Damn, you ain't from Maryland.
You're right. I'm not.
Shroom knows what I'm talking about. You bitch button somebody. That's end shit. You did not just bitch button your mom. What do you want to do? Pick up on stream? Hey mom, sorry. Looking at big hentai titties. Gotta go. I fucking messaged her. I said I'd call her back later. But then now my phone's dead.
I can't believe you just bitch buttoned your mom. Right on stream for the whole world to see. I would talk to my mom on stream, but I'd be afraid of what she'd say.
I also wouldn't trust your mom on stream, for the record.
And that's valid. Also, this drawing is for the 900,000 people that have asked me to draw a Pokemon trainer.
For real?
Yo, Sar, thank you for the gifted sub.
Thank you, Sarb.
No, I would never want to put my mom on the spot and say, hey, Ma, you're live.
Hey, mama.
Although, unlike Scott, I trust my mom not does anything bad. Scott's mom I'd never trust.
I'm gonna do some blue here.
Is that because you're feeling blue, or?
I'm feeling blue. Like Crazy Frog.
What are you eating tonight, Scott?
I don't know, McDonald's.
Remember, like 2 days ago when he was like, "No, I'm."
I don't know.
Go
I don't know
back.
for sure. I don't know for sure.
I'm not gonna go back, guys.
It's just something my girlfriend wanted Little Caesars, and I didn't want Little Caesars again.
Amy's making me a nice dinner for my birthday, so when I hop off,
Wow.
I'm going to eat dinner with her.
It's your birthday?
I think so. That's what I've been told.
That's crazy. I thought your birthday was like Tuesday.
Yes, so do other people. Shroom
thought your
said, "Do
birthday
you
was,
have a?"
like, 2
Shut the fuck up. Shroom said, "Do you have a particular color that you enjoy using more than other colors that you enjoy using more than the other ones you like more?"
You're having all kinds of problems over there.
My brain broke for a minute.
A specific color. I do in certain situations.
I know it's not green.
It's not. It's never green. Like this situation, I normally would use like an orange or a red, but I decided to mix it up a little bit and do blue, or blue. I don't. Yeah, it's just certain colors are a little bit easier to work with, at least for me. And blue is one that is always a little difficult for me to work with. I don't think black counts, but I like using a lot of blacks. Whites I try to avoid because they're a little boring to look at. But yeah, so there are definitely some that I like using more. Like I said, oranges a lot. For backgrounds, I like doing blues. Like if you look back at those old post sheets, most of them had that white or a blue background. But I just didn't use it. I guess that's part of the reason I didn't use it in clothing a lot is because usually the background was blue. Madre, why are you Madre in some places and no Lost Star in other places? Where's the consistency?
There's no law.
There's no
They
law.
can do what they want. There's
Can
no
you believe that?
law.
Star.
I meant to say this when we I think it was on Tuesday when we finished our first stream back. The minute we got off, it started just like fucking torrential downpouring here, and I lost power like 15 times. Like I literally just kept losing
right
power,
after
getting power
stream.
back, losing power, getting power back, losing power, getting power back. Yeah, it
was good timing.
Yeah, literally like not even 10 minutes after we ended stream. So. Do you primarily use the pencil tool for your work? Is there a technical reason for doing this, or is it just personal preference?
I use it for ink and color, and I don't use it for pencils. I use the chalk brush for pencils, which I showed a little bit earlier this stream. But I don't pencil a lot on stream. The technical reason is this: is I can just paint bucket, and it's real easy because of the anti-aliasing or no anti-aliasing like a normal brush. So it looks a little pixelated. And I like that because it makes my job easier, and anything I can do to make my life easier, I will. That counts as a technical reason, right?
Scott
Laziness.
making his life easier.
Wow, can you believe that? Gonna pull up Star Wars Episode 3: Revenge of the Sith on DS.
One of my favorite clips of ours is actually I think it's you, me, and Shadia, and like it's like Shadia and I are just having a conversation, and I flip back to your screen, and you're just playing Star Wars, and her and I both just like fucking lose our minds. I don't know why. It's a great one.
It's a good game. It's a goated game. Star Wars Episode 3: Revenge of the Sith.
Scott's workflow looks very fun and easy. Are you having fun right now, Scott?
I'm having a ball. All my friends are here. We're hanging out. I have to put up with Bryce, but that's okay.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean that's really the point. Is like I just wanted to be able to have fun. Like that's why we do art, right? Is have fun. And so I didn't want to. I don't enjoy painting. I don't enjoy like grinding out really detailed stuff. Like I just like doing fun colors and fun poses and cool line art and stuff like that. And I've developed a process that lets me, as much as possible, focus on the things that I like and avoid the things that I don't, which is more like detailed rendering and stuff like that.
Scott, there's someone behind you. What if you died on stream, Scott? Like, what if someone broke into your house and all the viewers saw it on stream?
I think that's against TOS.
That is true. Whether it's worse than puking, I don't know, but
has that ever happened before? Surely that's happened before. Has
anyone ever been murdered on stream? Probably. I don't know. I'm not the fucking stream lore guy.
You know more than me.
Not allowed to die on stream. Yeah, imagine if you get killed on stream and Twitch bans your account. Yeah, but haven't there been people who have gotten like swatted and got banned for there being like guns on stream? I feel like I remember that happening to somebody.
Remember when swatting was the big thing?
It still is. I think XQC has said he gets swatted quite a bit. That's why he's always having to move places, like move different houses. Scott, you've been learning how to animate, right? How have you found it?
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's really fun. I very much enjoy having animated. The process of animating is very challenging, time intensive, difficult. It could tedious at times. But when you finish and you have an animation and you can look at it and be like, oh, look, I brought these characters to life. I made them move. It is really cool. It is really rewarding. But like I said, the process of doing it is actually not my favorite. But that's true of a lot of things.
The beam is supposed to be red. You're being scolded hard fucking core right now by people. It is true.
But the crab's red.
The beam is red. I mean, I will say it. You know, they get around it in the anime. Fucking, you have the crab Pokemons in the anime. No, don't make it that red. It's not that red. It's like a different. It's like it's not.
Oh no.
It's not fucking. It's something more like that.
But I don't like that.
If you don't make it this, people are gonna give you shit, and it's gonna be a bad drawing. Do you want it to be a bad drawing?
It's gonna be white. We'll come back to it. We'll come back to it in a little bit, guys.
When Scott posts that and it's the same color, can we all be mad about it? Can we all agree to be upset? Yeah, make the whole panel. Do all the line art blue.
I haven't figured out what I want to do with that yet. Because you're right, I guess it is blue. Or red, not blue. I got blue on the brain.
Damn. Is it because you're feeling blue? Oh shit, I already made that joke. Wow, I recycle jokes.
You made me yawn. That joke was so mid, it made me yawn.
Wow.
Guys, how do you like being able to see our faces? Or do you think, should we go back to the old way where you
Yeah,
can't see our
should
faces?
we just get rid of it?
Like, do you hate it so much that you're like, oh, please stop showing us your
just
faces?
like go back to this. Do you guys prefer this? Is this better?
For real?
We got a sub out of it. Maybe. Maybe. Oh, we're back. I'd never do that to you all.
He's better than me, I would.
I prefer not looking at your mugs. That's because you've seen my mug in person, Shroom. Just show Bryce. What would be the absolute worst writing advice you ever heard or been given? Ooh.
Art and writing advice.
Oh, did it say art? Oh, I forgot you exist. I don't know what. Have we ever gotten any joint advice, Scott? Like, has anyone ever given us? We've made bad decisions. we've gotten onto bad deals before and stuff like that. I guess that's not necessarily advice. We've had people advise us to do things that were not good business-wise for our career.
Yeah.
Mostly early on because we were stupid, and when you're stupid and trying to get into the comic industry, everyone wants to make a buck off you. I don't know. I don't really think we've gotten that much bad advice.
No, I think that the really important thing is to be aware and think about where the advice is coming from. There were a lot of times early on that we got advice from people, and then and we took it as absolute gospel. And then if you looked at like where that person was like career-wise, it's like, why did we think that they had all of the answers? You know what I mean? So just consider the source of really any of that kind of stuff that you get. Because sometimes, like, just because you get advice doesn't mean it's right.
This isn't like a be-all end-all, but a good rule of thumb to think about. And again, it's not a be-all end-all but if someone's giving you advice, especially if it's like career advice over like art advice, specifically, you think, would you want to be where they're at right now? Like that I feel like is a good rule of thumb.
And also, you know, if you are if somebody gives you like advice or something and it makes you really uncomfortable, like you're just like, I don't know, that doesn't seem right, like I don't really agree. Like, you have to be able to trust your gut at least sometimes. You know, it's not always like I said, consider, you know, where that other person is, but also just like if you disagree with the advice, like maybe you're right, maybe you're wrong, but at the end of the day, you don't want to be like, oh man, this thing didn't work out, and that's awful that it didn't work out, but it's their fault because I took their advice. Like, you want to be responsible for yourself at the end of the day. And because you are, you know, even if you don't feel like you are. So even if you take somebody's advice and it doesn't go well, it's on you at the end of the day. So if you just really feel uncomfortable about advice, don't just take it because somebody gives it to you. Even if they're even if what you want to do is be like a Twitter artist for a living. If I give you advice and you're like, no, I don't agree with that advice, like, that's fine. I'm not, you know, I'm not infallible. You know, just if you disagree with it, then that's fine. Do your own thing.
One important thing I think to remember too is that when people give advice, they are just saying what has worked for them typically. Mm-hmm. And so it is important to take everything with a grain of salt because they are saying, this is what works for me. Typically, sometimes they frame it as in this is what works, but most of the time it's just they're just saying this is what works for me. And typically the best approach to advice, especially big advice, like things you should do, like by and large, is to just take what you agree with from it. You don't have to take every single piece of advice they give you. But if one little thing got through to you or one little thing connects with you, then yeah. On animation side, I got that Mia animation fully colored Luden sketches set. That's fucking cool.
Oh, really? Yeah, tag me when you send it in the server and post it so I can see it. Because it's looking dope.
But yo, Cap changed their name to Capcom. Let's fucking go. Bye,
Good,
Cap.
Good. Bye, Cap. Oi, matey.
I can't. Somebody said, what bad decisions? Like when I sent the bad decision thing earlier. There's been a lot. But that's your early one. But one I can think of that I'm comfortable talking about is when we were working with this really small company that's not even around anymore, and they were like, actually it wasn't them. One of the people from the company was like, hey, I distribute comic books. Like I go to conventions and I sell comic books to people. Give me like X amount of money and I'll get a bunch of your books printed. I'll sell my comic books and I'll give you a cut of the profits. And we were like, this person works for a comic publisher. Oh my god. And somebody we knew connected to them had been really kind to us and given us a lot of advice. And so we did it, and we never saw the money back. Never heard anything back about it.
Or the books.
Yeah, the only books we ever saw were the test books. We got to check the quality. Yeah, never saw the books or the money. Granted, it was only I think $50 or $100, but at a time where we were broke, we really had to scrounge that money up.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had to I asked my parents. That's how poor we were at the time. In terms of our own financial places, we weren't really in a place to where that,
because we were like
18,
what, like 17,
19.
18.
We were just out of high school, or at least I was. You might have still been in high school.
I think I was.
And so I actually, for the longest time, I still had the comic, but I might have thrown it away when I moved because I was like, "There's no point in even keeping this." Because we even ended up rewriting the comic.
Yeah, that was. If somebody is really genuinely, you shouldn't have to give money in situations like that. So just be careful who you work
anytime
with.
anyone says, give me money, like anytime anyone's like, yeah, I'll print your book and sell it, give me money to do it, that's a very, very big red flag. No matter how much you trust them, it is a red flag. If you're going to be working with somebody, there needs to be either they need to be pushing to print it, there needs to be a Kickstarter or something like that. At that point, why aren't you selling the books yourself?
And also, I think a lot of times, and we've been guilty of this too, people think that Kickstarter is magic, and it's like this crazy thing that like only like some people are like you have to be like whatever like really good and stuff, and like those, especially in comic books, there'll be these little indie companies. And it's like, oh, we ran a Kickstarter and raised a few $1,000s. And when you're just starting out, you're like, oh my god, like that'd be crazy. You can do a Kickstarter, like if you just put the work in. Like most of the time, there's not like some secret sauce that you can't do by yourself that requires you to sell your book away.
Also, a big thing. There's a big piece of advice to anyone giving Kickstarters. Okay, there's a thing that we've learned in the past and everything. I'm just gonna blanket say it. If you're gonna do a comic Kickstarter and you are using the book's already drawn, like the book's done, you're just using this to put the book out there, do not make your goal over $1,000 for the most part. Keep it low. Keep fucking Tim. He does the Common America comics. Their goal are $1,000. They make like 150 grand a Kickstarter or something crazy like that, don't they? Like their last one did like
or more.
Yeah, they make crazy because if you put it like, okay, I'm trying to think. If you put it at like, let's say you put it at 15,000, you're like, okay, let's say you have a Kickstarter, your last one did like 12,000, and you made a lot of money off, it's really good, but blah, and you go, I'm gonna do one for 15K. You don't want to make your goal 15K because if it doesn't hit it, you don't get the book printed at all. So if the book's already drawn, all the money's put into it. If you have it at 1K, if people pay 1K, then you have enough to print the book and do what you need, and you still put the book out there. If you put it at 15K and nobody gets it, then you've like even you could raise 10 grand at that point for a book that's already drawn that you got to put no money into. You're done. And the book doesn't get out there. And at that point, you've already ruined your marketing because you only really get one shot to Kickstarter. You can do it again, but at that point, you've already missed your shot. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody else, but
yeah, it's a niche thing, but he's right. If you're thinking about doing comics, especially on your own, that's really good advice.
Again, I'm talking specifically if you've already drawn the book. If you are using it to fund the book, that's a different thing. Then you need to price it as much as you're like going to pay the artist or whatever, or as much as you would need to be able to draw the book. That's a different story. I've seen many cases where the book is finished and somebody's like a small publisher says like, okay, we have to raise X amount. When like I said, you don't. I'm afraid of doing Patreons and Kickstarters because handling other people's money is a lot of responsibility I don't have mental health for. I mean that's fair, but think about it like this: all you have to do once you get the money is get you should not do a Kickstarter if you don't have everything figured out before the Kickstarter. You should know how you're gonna get the things printed. You should know how much money you're gonna have to spend. You should know this. You should know that everything should be figured out, and then all you're doing is scaling up based off of how many people join the Kickstarter, and then yeah, it's doing the work. And the best way to think of it is it's there's a very low bar. Most people just want to get their stuff. So at the very least, all you have to do is get them their stuff. Speaking of Kickstarter, have you guys heard of the Juice Zero? No, I've not.
But we're both woefully underinformed about Kickstarter happenings and comic book happenings for people that want to be in the industry. We're just a couple of nerds who make our own stuff and not much else.
We basically rely on our agent to tell us how comics work.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, this won't fly in this rating of a book, and we go, oh sorry. We apologize, ma'am.
What are you guys thinking about Pokemon Trainer Lucio?
But just to finish the Kickstarter thing, I would say if you want to do comic Kickstarters, really, Common America's Kickstarters are like the pinnacle. You look at them, Iron Circus, their Kickstarters, they're a comic publishing company that, I mean, maybe they don't now, but I know for the longest time they funded all their stuff through Kickstarter. And they always do crazy numbers.
In this universe where Lucy is a Pokemon trainer, the balls are orange. She looks cool. Water type, definitely. Nah, bro.
She's like a member of Team Aqua.
Definitely a Charmander main.
Yeah.
This is the correct answer.
Then why does she look like she's dressed as part of Team Aqua?
Because she's a walking, talking paradox.
That's a bar.
I think Tyler, the creator, said that. Only it's Tyler, the creator, so he didn't say it quite like that.
I'm still trying to think about the bad writing advice thing. I wish I had like a really good zinger of an example, but I don't have any specific like bad writing advice anyone ever gave me. Because there's a lot of things that I've learned like don't work for me, but there aren't a lot of things I would say were like bad. Because like I said, most of it's just learning that a lot of things just work for other people.
Bryce, what's the most annoying laugh you can think of?
The like somewhat like a human being's laugh. I have
just
no
like
idea.
if you had to make up a laugh right now.
I'm not gonna.
Like you're
just
writing a
randomly do an
character.
annoying laugh.
You have to write a character, and the character has an annoying laugh. What does the laugh sound like?
Probably something like yours.
Wow, can't believe that.
Got him. I do read all my dialogue out loud. Actually, I read almost all my writing out loud, not just my dialogue. As I'm revising it typically. So it'll be 5 a.m, and I'll just be sitting in here just like doing different voices, and Amy will come in sometimes and she'll be like, I've just heard you talking just like a maniac for the last 25 minutes in here. So
Would you still be friends with me if I laughed like like that
I don't
all
know.
the time?
I have no idea. Would you be friends with me if I laughed like that?
I'm not friends with you now,
Okay.
so
Wow. Can you believe that? Yo, we're finally on cam. I could show off the burn on my arm that I got from Shroom when we were fucking 12 years old.
show off that burn.
I don't
Wait,
even
are
know if it
burns
would.
against
I don't
Twitch
know.
policy.
I don't know if it would come up on camera because where the camera's at. Can you guys see it right here? I don't know if you can.
Well, if you made your fucking webcam
Oh yeah, good
big,
point.
god damn, you moron.
You see it right here. It's kind of hard to see, but yeah, when I was 13, Shroom and two other kids, we were hanging out, not doing anything that would get us in trouble, and we all took a light. They took a lighter, and they said, "Let's light this lighter." And so they took 3 lighters, and they all heated the metal in one, and then they burned me right here. I was willing, for the record. I wanted to prove that I was a badass. So I have this, and now every time I go to the doctor, they give me shit because they say it looks like some like vaccine that's antiquated. They don't give anymore, and they're like, "Why do you have that?" And I'm like, "No, I'm stupid. I got burned with a lighter." It feels, it was a Bic lighter, and so when I rub my hand over it, it literally feels just like the outline of the metal on a Bic lighter to this day.
Well,
So
can you bicep cam?
yeah, and I remember I went home. My mom picked me up. Actually, I will say, after it happened, I think we all realized how bad of an idea it was the moment it happened, and my arm sizzled like fucking bacon. And I remember Shroom looked at me and he went, "Uh-oh." And he yanked me out of the room and took me upstairs, and he fucking doctored me up. And by that I mean I think he just poured rubbing alcohol all over it and then slapped like one of those like patches over it. And then I stayed there all night. I stayed the night. That was like in the middle of the day. So I stayed there all night with my arm fucking burnt like that. And then I went home. I think my dad picked me up and dropped me off. And I went to my mom in the kitchen and I said, "Hey, Mom." And she goes, "Hi, how'd you have it burnt?" I go, "No, shut up. I have to show you something." And I took her into the next room and I pulled off my arm or pulled a thing. And I was like, "What do I do?" And she just looked at me and she's like, "You're a fucking idiot, kid." And then and then she cleaned it up. And then I was fine. No, not alcohol. It was like burn cream or something. It was just something to stop because I remember it didn't hurt because I guess it was a burn so bad.
Because it was burned.
Yeah, it like burned my nerve. So I literally didn't feel any pain. I was just like, huh. And if I touched that part of my arm, I still like that little circle. It's not that much, but I can't really feel anything right there.
Bryce got bullied.
It wasn't. Well, okay. I was the punching bag of the group, but how important is an editor if you're publishing a comic on your own? I would say very important because I don't think Scott and I realized how important it is to have someone who really, really knows their shit and really knows a lot about storytelling and knows about what gets published and what doesn't and what does well until we had someone look over our stuff like that and just fucking shred us. So I would say if you are going to put something out into the world, you are very confident and want to get it published, I would say it is worth it to put out the money and have someone edit your work. Now, I would say the caveat to that is it needs to be someone that you trust and that you know will do things well. It needs to be someone who's good. Like I don't
At the very least, you need
beta readers
to proofread your stuff.
Yeah, at the very least, you need beta readers, but there's always a benefit to having a professional do it. Yeah. I used to edit, actually. I used to do editing work. I used to edit people's script. I do very occasionally. I would probably charge more in Alpha than I used to. I used to do $4 a page. But I would probably charge more now if I did it because I haven't done it like a year. I still do it for friends sometimes. But yeah, I haven't done it in a long time. What about sensitivity readers? I've heard that term before. Is that just like a beta reader? I don't know specifically what that means. Or does that mean like, I don't know.
It's a beta reader with specifically the purpose of seeing if you're going to offend anybody with your book.
Oh.
It's just an editor with extra steps.
I mean, those are probably important. I don't know. Like I said, anytime like, it's typically if you have a good editor, they'll also do that.
Yeah, it's really, yeah. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
tell your story. Don't be a dick. You're not going to offend anybody.
And like I said, typically if you have a good editor, they're going to be able to tell you whether that is worth it or not. Also, like if you get an agent or you have an agent, that's a big thing they will do for you. Is tell you when you say something that's accidentally offensive, or if you write something that's accidentally could be taken the wrong way.
Cut if accidentally racist.
That is true. Scott and I did once get a note that said cut if it said cut if accidentally racist, cut if intentionally racist from our agent. And I guess it was accidentally racist because it wasn't supposed to be at all.
You live and you learn.
Yeah, it's just part of it. You know, you don't know everything in the world. You don't know everything that offends everybody. But an agent or an editor or something like that, somebody with their pulse on the industry, they do, and it's their job to tell you when you do something wrong.
And like I said, most of the time, if you're just like telling your story and not being a dick, like
you are very
you're gonna
seldomly
be
going to run
fine.
into it.
Yeah, like it's not. If you're just starting
literally,
out,
actually,
like, don't
I'm
even
comfortable
worry about
saying
it.
what got us that note. If you're fine with it.
Yeah, that's fine.
What got us that note, the cut if accidentally racist, cut if intentionally racist, was there was a scene in one of our books where somebody's yelling at somebody angrily, and they yell, "Shut up, you mongrel." But I meant it as in like you dog, like you dirty dog, like shut up, you dirty dog. And I learned that can be taken as a racist thing, and so I cut it because of that. I didn't know, but I did not know that. I literally, my intention was as a dog. It was like you were like I was just insulting. It was just somebody insulting somebody else.
A white character, by the way.
Yeah. They both these characters were white. Let me clarify. They were both white. They were. There was no like they were two just white characters. It was like in the middle of like a race, and it was an announcer like yelling angrily at somebody he didn't like. And like I said, it's something I didn't know about. I was entirely unaware of that could be taken in a different way. And our agent told us, she was like, that can be taken this way, so you should cut it. And I was like, okay. And that's part of their job because you don't always know everything. And you know, yeah, like I said, I get it now, and I've not used that word since. But like I said, sometimes it's even if it's not your intention or if it's not a thing, you know, it's just so sensitivity readers are important. I would say they're very important, but I would say that most of the time, if you're having someone edit your work or you're having an agent look over your work or doing something like that, they're going to do that job as well, because that should be. If I paid money for somebody to edit my stuff and they let something like that slip through, I'd be upset. So I would definitely, I would say that should be part of it is, you know, ask from the group you represent. That is also true. I mean, if you're writing about a specific group or a specific culture, I definitely think there is value in getting sensitivity readers from those cultures, because you're not going to know everything. And even if you pretend to know everything or do all the research you're going to do, there's nothing more valuable than actual human experiences or interacting with real people.
That's true. That's also, I think, more specific. I don't think as often you run into like you're trying to accurately depict another culture or anything like that you're not familiar with.
I think it depends on your intention there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think most stories are written to be like an accurate depiction of somebody else's culture, or like you and me, if we tried to write from the perspective of like, you know, a book about sexism that women face. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, we haven't, we probably then at that point would definitely need to be like, okay, we need to get some like women beta readers in here to make sure that we're not totally off the mark. But you know, like if you know, typically you write what you know about firsthand.
But just back to the very beginning topic, yes, I would say getting it, if you're going to put your work out from like if you're gonna put it out and have someone pay for it, or you're gonna publish your book that way, you put all this work into it. It would not make sense to not do the extra step of getting someone to at least beta read it, at least sensitivity read it. But like I said, I would go a step further. If you have the means, I would find a professional editor who is trusted and who has experience, and I would shell out money, because it's very, very worth it. And if you find it's not worth it, then just next time get a different editor. Just find someone else. They might not have clicked with you, anything like that. The person you get editing should care about what you're working on. One of the best things I ever edited was for a dude named Mark Dixon, very good friend of mine. He has a podcast coming out called Rich, and I edited it, and I fucking loved working on it. It didn't even feel like a job. It was very fun to get to edit that. And so that's I feel like the mindset a lot of editors should have is they should want it to be good, not just because they're getting money, but they should also be excited about what they're working on. And getting an editor who sucks could damage your work too. That is true. Yeah. There are bad critiques. There are bad opinions. Scott and I have had our work edited before by someone who we did not think their opinion was the greatest, and at times made the work worse. So it's just all about, like I said, just about trusting. That's why it's best if you can find someone you already know and trust to look over your work. But obviously, not everyone has that person, and most of the time you just luck into that person.
And without it, you can't always rely on that. It's just about trusting yourself, being able to. Like if when Bryce and I get feedback, we talk about it amongst ourselves, and it's either that we agree with the feedback, and we take it, and so it helps the story, or we don't agree and we don't take it, or sometimes somebody will be like, oh, here's an idea like for this, or like I don't like this, and you have to just sort of come up with your own way to fix it. And you might not like their suggestion, but maybe they're right that idea that you have is a problem you need to work on.
Also, thank you for the prediction, whoever made that.
The what?
Somebody made a prediction that said, will Scott notice I made this?
Oh. I noticed because you said it.
Yeah. I just wanted to call him out.
But I didn't even know that was a thing. Honestly.
Neither did I. Until right now.
But yeah, what was I talking about? This completely derailed me.
I wasn't paying attention when you were talking, I'll be honest. I spaced out.
Okay.
It happened here live on stream. Well, we
covered that topic, guys. we got it down.
I was too thrown off by the prediction. Everyone blame B.
God damn it, B.
Feline said good tips for making a schedule.
I don't know. Do we have a schedule, Bryce?
Again, I feel like I keep saying this, and I feel like it's a really generic thing, but I think it's all about you. I think it's one of those things of your schedule. You will kind of like what we talked about with the Q yesterday. You will, through trial and error, you will kind of figure out your schedule. I don't know. See, for me, it's just I think Scott and I actually do our schedule. It's one of the few things I think we actually do pretty differently, because I think Scott maps out his days by I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do these things this day, these things this day. Whereas mine's more general. Mine's just okay, today I know I'm gonna write for my novel. Okay, today I know I'm gonna work on this scene for this. And sometimes it's literally just I know this week this is what I'm doing. Like this week, every day I know I'm writing for my novel, and that might be all I have in my schedule. Whereas I think Scott, you do it a lot more in depth, don't you?
Yeah, I try and I try and be at least. I basically try and set goals for myself. Like I'll try and finish X number of posts this week. Like this week, I wanted to finish all of September, and then like for page or Twitter, and then I wanted to finish all of August and Patreon or September's Patreon posts. And I didn't quite get that. This is my second to last post in September, so tomorrow I should finish all the September stuff, but I won't be able to finish all the Patreon stuff, and that's okay. I don't always meet, but me personally, I just like to set a goal and be like, okay, this week I'm gonna try and, get this much work done. And then this week I say I didn't get my objective, so next week I kind of want to take it a little bit easier, and so I'll do. I'll finish the work that I didn't do this week, and then I'll do X, Y, and Z, and I'm pretty confident I can finish that by the end of the week. That's how it works for me.
Somebody also, or B also made a point that I think is very, very important, at least for some people, but I would say definitely for me, and it's get someone to yell at you if you fail to follow said schedule. And I would say for me, one of the biggest reasons I was able to maintain, for example, I used to, when I was younger, when I first started writing every day, I said, I want to write 2,000 words every day. It's what I wanted to do, because Stephen King said it, and when I was younger, I thought if Stephen King said it, that's what you had to do. And so what I'd do every day, I'd finish work and I'd message Scott and I would tell him how many words I wrote, because I knew that if I told him it was under 2,000, because I knew that was my goal, he'd give me shit. And that accountability throughout my entire career has kind of always helped, of having Scott there, who I know if I don't do what I say I'm going to do, or if I don't meet the goal I'm going to say, he'll be like, for example, like he knows at the end of this year I want to release or have finished a short story collection, and I know if I don't, he's going to give me shit about it. Like I know he's going to be like, at least say like, why didn't you do it? Like what went wrong? And so I think having that person is really important, because I think that when you create something, you create for, at least for me, I don't know if it's like this for everybody, but I've heard other creators say this, I feel like you create for somebody. So like you write for somebody or you draw for somebody. Sometimes it's yourself, but I think for a lot of people it's someone else. For me, like I think especially early on, I wrote a lot for Scott, because he was the person that I knew was going to be reading my work first. And so he was the one I wanted to impress most of the time. It was like I was writing this because I'd be like, oh, I think Scott will like this. I think he'll think it's very good. So I would think about what he would like and the thing he would like. And I think that that's an also important thing, and that's why the having someone there to kind of keep you accountable is important. Yeah, I don't know. That's my take on it.
Just to add on that too, because it's some advice I really believe in. If you're writing specifically, and honestly, I think you could apply this to drawing too, but not as much. Write for one person, and what that really means, to simplify it, is just like, if you're if you know somebody's tastes, be like, okay, I'm writing so this person will like these ideas. And the reason is that it generally comes out better when you're just trying to like be really specific in what you're going for, versus if you're trying to write so everybody likes everything in your story. Most people won't like anything in your story, so it oftentimes helps to just be like, okay, I'm this person, I know the kind of shit that they like, I'm gonna just try and write something that's up their alley. And obviously you pick something that's up your alley too. You don't want to just like write some nonsense, but if you find somebody, and that's why Bryce also said like sometimes it's for yourself, and I think that's true too. Like if you just are sitting down and writing what you like,
and it can be a thing that changes. It's not like that has to be the same for every book or everything you do. Like you can have like somebody, like I would say, for example, there okay, for a good example is a book we finished here recently. I would say for the first half bit I was writing it for Scott, but then at some point it switched to I was writing it to impress our agent. And I think that's an important thing, is just like being able to also, Scott's Sarah said the colors on her arms are mismatched.
Are they?
I don't know. I'm just repeating what was said to us. But yeah, so I would say it just know who you're writing for. Typically it's the person that's going to read your work first is who you're writing for. So that's a good way to think of it, is think of who is going to read your work first. I think, like I said, because I took that piece of advice originally from Stephen King, and I think it was, he said his wife was who would always read his stuff first. And for me, it's Scott, because he's the person that always... Oh, yeah, that is true. On one arm, it ends with black, and the other, it ends with blue.
Listen, I messed up in the line art. I didn't feel like counting. Sue me.
Okay, so we'll wait for your lawyers, sir.
What?
He said sue him.
Oh. You're right.
I expected one of you to be blonde.
I thought Bryce was blonde when I first
I
met
actually have blonde hair. In the back of my... I don't know if I'd be able to ever get it on camera, but the back of my hair is blonde. Like, I was born with it. I have a blonde patch in the back of my hair. It's when I have really short hair, like when I cut all my fucking curls off, it's very noticeable. because half my hair is like really dark brown, and then I have this one little blonde patch. I also get them. I get them in my facial hair sometimes. I'll get little patches of blonde, and they're not gray. They are distinctly blonde. So would you say loving your own work and being super confident in it can make others love your work too? True or false? I would say if you like your work, you write it better. If you like what you're working on, you make it better because you have more drive to make it. And I think people can tell. Like, you ever played something and you can tell people don't give a shit about it? If you write like you don't give a shit about it, people can tell. I feel like you have to care about what you're making, or people can tell. That's just my opinion on it. Because I feel like that care directly translates into quality, because it translates into the amount of work you're willing to put into it. For example, if you notice a bunch of problems in a book, if you don't care, you probably just be like, oh, it's fine, it's finished, I'm done, I'd rather move on. If you really care about it, you'd want to go back and keep rewriting and there are situations where sometimes like you want to walk away from a book, or you don't want to have that full level of care, whatever. But I think people can tell if you don't have that full level of care. I think unless it's super abstract, there will be an audience for it, right? I think there's an audience for anything that's good. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I think if you get it in the right person's hands, because I think here's the way to think about it. You don't know how to market yourself. And me and Scott don't either. I'm saying, like, most creators, we have no idea. But there is always a person out there who knows how to market you, being an agent, be it whatever, blah, 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 blah. And so as long as you write something that's good, that person will know what to do to make it marketable, and what to do, who to take it to, where to take it, yada, yada, yada. You can write a book that's very unsellable, and we know this from experience, and the person will tell you everything that they think you need to do to make it sellable, and how to get it to where it needs to be, how to find the audience it needs to find. Now, whether it'll work or not, you never know, but there are people that can do their damnedest. That is 100% their job. And I think as long as you write something good, there will be an audience for it.
We're getting about ready to wrap up.
Yeah, whenever you want.
Yeah, I'm thinking that we're getting about to that point.
So we're wrapping up the first week of streams back. How are we all feeling about it?
You've seen our faces now for a combined total of about 6 hours.
Do we like the face cams? Do you
like our faces? Do you like us? Please give us validation.
Show us a teaser. I don't know if we can show a teaser of the one thing.
No, probably
yeah,
not.
I was gonna say, man, I don't think we could. We can show a teaser of the book we're writing right now, but I don't know if you want to.
Well, yeah, we can.
We can show like one of the designs.
We could show the designs, or we could show that one thing that I drew a while back.
Yeah, we could show that the colored thing. Hold on, let me. Should we say anything about it, or should we just say that it's just what we're writing right now?
No, I think we just pull it up and then we don't say anything about it, and
okay.
Then we.
Yeah, so we'll show a teaser for what we're writing right now.
Yeah.
But it's very far from done.
And with that, everybody, with the first week of streams wrapping up, gonna be rating somebody, and I hope that you guys are nice to them and tell them we sent you. Send them Lucia emojis in the chat.
Thumbs.
Or thumbs in chat. Yeah. All right.
And also, just real quick, somebody says light novel. No, everything we do is comics typically.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, goodbye, everybody. Hope you all have a good weekend. We'll be back on Tuesday with Echo. Echo, right? Tuesday?
Yep, with Echo.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.
Bye.